Well, here's the new kit. I've been trying to put this up on the live stream, but I've been having technical difficulties with it. So I had to do my live streams directly from the laptop right here. So I'm going to put this video out and show it to you how I was going to put it up on the live streams. And then I added a little bit of stuff that I did earlier today. So here you go. Today we're starting on a new kit. Clark's Wood Products, another bar mill scale model works kit. Clothespins, toothpicks, and matches. HO scale kit number 0332. Figures and vehicle not included. Now I opened this up last night when I was showing the final of Papa Louie's Cigar Store. So I'm going to bring you down onto the workbench and show you what this thing really looks like here. Alrighty. So we have a lot of detail parts here. We got some windows and doors and some stuff for the roof. These are resin castings, and I can smell them. Here's a bunch of white metal castings. Here is all the bracing, some other wood stuff. It looks like some stacks of wood right here, and some fencing and some lamps. And vent pipes. Okay. And here's all the wood stuff right here and the instructions. Oh, and we got some roofing material. And we got some corrugated sheets also. Here's some shingles and some corrugated sheets. Let me get it out of here. My goodness, I'm having a hard time with it. Clark's is named after our good friend and Bar Mills associate Clark Kooning, a fine modeler and most probably the finest modeler for miles around, as he lives in a remote Siberian-like area of Canada. This kit has a lot of twists and turns, so many that unless you really want to read the kit builder's version of War and Peace, or Pieces in this case, you're most likely to have to stop, scratch your head, and do some figuring on your own this time around. Nobody wants page after page of text. You probably don't really need them. Consider this the classic illustrated version of instructions. Note they're particularly lax, but we just want to get you through them before you start to nod off. That being said, sit up straight, grab your tools, and grab a cold one too, and you're probably going to need it. Some nice photographs of the place. Alrighty. I don't see any place where it has the corrugated or the shingles, except I did see this last night right over here. It shows some shingles exposed on the one corner there, but all of it looks like just plain tar paper roof. Not sure where the corrugated goes, but we'll figure that out once we go through all the instructions here. Okay, so let's open this up and see what we got here. Now, I was comparing this to a kit that I did some time ago, but this one looks like it's smaller because I see the base here, and this is smaller than the building that I had. I guess it was a laser art building, and I'll bring it down here and put it up against the this base right here. Having trouble getting it out here. The seal, heat seal, stuck to the cardboard. That's why I was having trouble. Alright, so here is the base right here. And so the building sits on this part right there. Now this one here is similar, but has a different front on it right here. And you can see how much smaller the Bar Mills kit is compared to that one. Oh my goodness. Much, much smaller. Probably half the size. Yep, half the size. So the Bar Mills one fits in this area right here. Okay, so we'll see what that looks like. Did a quick inventory of all the parts to make sure everything is here, and everything appears to be here. And I have a general understanding. I went through all the pages, didn't read everything, but have an understanding of how everything fits together on here and where all the bracing goes. So I'm just going to cut, well, this already came apart, but I'm going to cut out the wall sections here and then put the bracing on and then open up the detail parts, and we'll be ready to start working on this thing and figure out what color we're going to make it. So it looks like it's going to be an off-white with a darker trim. I think we'll make all the it looks like all the boards, corner posts are the same color as the wall panels, but the bottom of the walls will be a separate color, so we'll have to mask that off. Well, we'll determine which color we want to put on there first before we mask anything off. But it's got a lot of fencing in there. I still didn't see any place where all this corrugated stuff is in the instructions anywhere, unless we're just going to use the corrugated pieces for crap. It's got a lot of signs on there for the wood fence, so let's get started with this thing right now. Well, to give you an idea of the detail parts on here, here's the metal castings, and I'm going to have to do some shaving on there because there's a lot of stuff on the edges. This is for the sliding doors right there. The windows and doors over here that are plastic. Plenty of squares. In fact, it looks like we got more than what it has in the inventory. 3 of the fences. So we're ready to start cutting up some stuff and getting everything ready to paint. Looks like we got plenty of stuff on here to paint. Why on earth these manufacturers don't go to resin castings for their small detail parts, I have no idea. But these crates, these stack of crates here, and this one metal barrel and these 2 wooden barrels, I had to shave all these flash off of that right there. Now these concrete blocks was just this right here, which is no problem, but an hour to do that shit right there, and then breaking the blade right there. Go figure. Go to the damn resin castings, which are much easier, a lot better detail, and get away from these metal castings over here. I mean, some of them weren't too bad. These are metal over here. These are all metal here. Those right there. Those weren't too bad right there. This is all resin casting. These were bare right here. Get away from doing that. Look at all this scrap right here. And an hour wasted trying to scrape that shit away. All the corner posts and bracing has been cut. So, time to glue it on before we do any painting. And the corner posts are going to be the same color as the clapboard, so we're going to glue them on at the same time as we glue the bracing on. All the walls are ready to go for paint. Got all the bracing on and the corner posts, and in the doorways have the 1/16 inch square. It's all going to be one color. I'm going to hit it with white, and then we'll put a trim color on the bottom. I'll determine what color that is along with the color of the windows and doors. I put a coat of gray primer on the walls before I put the base coat of white. Let me show you what we got here. Okay, there it is. And here's the white that I'm going to use. Flat Rust-Oleum. We're going to spray it on right now. All right, I put a gray coat on here. And then I put a primer coat of gray on all the panels on both sides, and then flipped it over and did a white on all the walls. The bottom is going to be painted in red along all the bottom sides with all the windows, trim, doors, and what else? Oh yeah, and this thing right here, the little particle collector, also in red. And we'll probably do the pipes in red too, so why not? So there we go. Well, I finally did some more painting. Now let me show you what we got so far. All right, so I did all the windows and doors and the lamps right here in red. And this trim and the bracing for the roof and the sign in white. Now, once I take this, I got to take these windows off and I'll redo them in red, but I just painted this whole thing with white to begin with. And on these, I did a gray background, and you can see how different it looks. So we'll have to deal with that. I mean, it doesn't look too bad on this right here, but we'll see what we can do with it. If you are masking off your walls before you assemble everything, what I'm doing is I'm going by the clapboard, the spaces in between the clapboard, but some of these walls are cut differently, and the spacing on the clapboard is different. Like I went up two boards above the window line, but on some of these other walls, it's not two lines. You have to just measure it, so you just have to put them side by side and compare where they are, just like that. Because not all walls are cut the same, because they're cut off of different sheets, and the spacing of the clapboard, it may be a little bit different, or or they cut the bottom of the wall at a different piece on the clapboard. Because even on these two walls right here, the front and the back wall, it's a little bit different, because there's like a real small gap and then a little bit bigger gap, so you have to keep that in mind. Well, where we left off on the last live stream was I was getting ready to put these, cut these corrugated sheets up, but I figured I had to paint them first, so I just painted them, and I had them sitting here for a while drying off on my little deal, my little block where I keep everything to dry. So let's take a look at the workbench and see what's on it. And this is right where we left it the other night. I was just trying to figure out right here where I should put this one stack, and instead of trying to shave this thing down because it's white metal, I'm gonna cut a hole in here. But what I have to do is I have to taper it. I have to put it wide on this end and then skinny on this end right here. Well, I cut a little flap on the bottom so I could rest this in here, and then once I get the roof in place, I'll be able to determine what angle this is, and then I'll be able to attach it a little bit better on the back side. I'm not cutting all the way through because if I try to go too deep in it, it seems to move a little bit on me. So I'm just scoring them like this, and then I'll cut them, go over them afterwards. Okay, I measured them out at 4 foot using the HO scale model railroader ruler. I got 2 sheets of these, and one of them is going to be enough to do this one roof right here, because it's doesn't even take up the whole thing. I'm going to put some silver and some rust on this before I install them, and I'll just glue them in place. Well, I was comparing these 2 paints right here, the metallic paint silver and then the bright silver metallic acrylic paint. One's Deco Art and the other one's Craft Smart, and they look a lot different in here. But right here, I put one side was the metallic and one, well, I can't even tell which one's which now. But the one side is the metallic and the other side is the bright. And I think this is the bright, and then this is the metallic. So what I did was I did all the other panels in this one right here. Well, the other one's shiny, a little bit shinier. When I mask these things off, I masked them off before I put it together, but I didn't do the edges right here, so I got to put some red right here, and I did it on these 2 corners right here so far, and I used brick red on that. I got many different color reds, and I was just comparing them all. This one's here is a barnyard red, and then the other thing is a primary red. So the brick red comes out the best. So I'll just do the other 2. I'll do the rest on the live stream. And I might have to do it on the other sheets too, because the other ones have corner posts on it too. But I haven't put them together yet. Do these, and then we'll put this all together tonight. That's all I'm doing right now. I'm going to live stream tonight on YouTube and the other platform. And then next week, I'll do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday a live stream at 7 p.m. I'm going to bring it, all of them at the same time at 7 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The only thing is, Wednesday is going to be on 2 platforms, YouTube and Rumble. Monday and Friday is going to be Rumble exclusively. But tonight it's going to be both. But then next week I'm going to start Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Rumble all 3 nights, but Wednesday, Rumble and YouTube. And see how that works.